What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking down Stage 5 of the 8th anniversary battle here. So let's go ahead and pop over to the wiki, take a look at the missions real quick. So we got to clear it once here. And then we have to clear without support items. And we are back to having to clear it with a unit of every typing. So, yeah, it looks like those are all the missions for that one. So yeah, we are back with the cooler team here. I actually did cheat on this one. I peeked ahead just to see what the typings were and stuff. And seems like the cooler team is going to be pretty good for this stage. There is quite a few stages to this one. Like there's quite a few levels to this fight. So I think we're going to be in here for a little bit of time, and it's going to give our coolers time to actually build up and stuff, which is going to be very, very nice. So let's go ahead and hop in and see if we can get this one taken care of. Okay, so it's going to be 2 separate fights, each that are 3 phases, I believe. Okay, so this is going to be the roughest part right here, right away, because we're facing off against an AGL enemy. We're not going to have to deal with that much later on in the fight. I think this is the only AGL stage in the whole thing. So that's a big part of the reason why I brought the cooler team, because I figured as long as we got through this very first stage, then we wouldn't have to deal with type disadvantage very much, which is going to be very helpful. But yeah, we have a lot of strong utility on this team here that we're going to be able to hopefully take advantage of. But yeah, it's very lucky that we got pretty much our one slot 1 unit on rotation right at the beginning. Because obviously we have this AGL Golden Frieza, but he's like the only unit that's definitely tanky enough to just throw in slot 1 and not worry about him. Everybody else on this team is going to have a little bit of a tough time. But I'm thinking of trying to put maybe the physical Metal Cooler in slot 1 on the opposite rotation, just because he has to take a bunch of hits to build up his stats anyway, so it seems like a good idea. But we'll see what happens. It's going to depend on the typing of the stages that we end up facing off against. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe it would be smarter for me to just put Janemba in the first slot because he has guard. And then as long as we make sure we select his Rainbow Key Spheres, then he's getting his extra damage reduction too. So maybe he could be a better slot 1 tank. But it would be nice to be able to leave the coolers on rotation together, right? So I guess we can use this as a test run and just leave. We'll leave Final Form, or we'll leave Metal Cooler up front here and just see how he tanks. We'll just see what he's able to make happen here. And then I really do want to get all of the... Oh man, this is rough. Because I want to make sure to save these Rainbow Orbs for Janemba. So I think it makes the most sense for me to go like this. Oh, that's rough. It wants to default to the Tech Orb, so it's not grabbing both of the Rainbow ones. That's actually really dumb. Okay, so I guess we just take an L this turn. That could have been really good. It almost was. Okay, so this guy got hit a little bit hard, but obviously he's not built up yet, right? So once he's built up here, then I think when we get into like the final phase of the fight, he'll be a little bit tankier. So yeah, maybe we will be able to rely on the physical Metal Cooler there, which is good, because I honestly, as good as that Janemba unit can be, he is still kind of a nuisance to use sometimes, as we just saw there. Like, unless you like really do a good job at planning your board and like making sure that he's going to have the correct orbs to select to activate his passive, then he is just kind of a sitting duck a lot of the time. You know, and obviously, like, there aren't very many good villain cards that are also, like, Rainbow Orb Changers and things like that. So that's much more of a super unit type ability. So I feel like there's not often times where you're running him alongside units that can provide the orbs for him that he needs, right? Okay, 40k with guard. So yeah, I think definitely the, well, that was without his full passive active, but I was going to say it looks like the Metal Cooler is the better option, for sure. After that display. I guess we should try and select as many same type orbs as possible. I mean, obviously for the healing, but then also, I guess potentially for the Dokkan attack, right? Considering we're only on the second phase of the first fight. So we still have a long way to go here. We might be able to see the Dokkan attack. Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, we're probably going to be done with this phase on this turn, I imagine, since we have type advantage with our Final Form Cooler here. Oh yeah, he'll easily put in work. We're getting some nice support from the LR Bobbity as well. I believe like 30% support. And some extra crit chance and stuff too, which is very nice. Okay, there we go. Speaking of extra crit chance. Okay, so I think the Metal Cooler has enough stacks now that he should be able to tank decently up front. So we'll do this, and then we can grab some STR orbs here, full 24 key super there, 12 key super here. Alright, and it should be no big deal from this point on. I think we're going to be fine here. At least for this first fight, because we're only halfway done, right? Then we end the fight and we have to start all over again against Gogeta. But as long as we can make the same thing happen, then we're going to be in business. Yeah, oh yeah, and I believe it looks like they have countdown super attacks as well. And I think it said something about they're going to be able to seal or stun you. But I think that is with the countdown. So once they hit that countdown, like, super, then they're going to hit you with, like, the sealing and stunning and stuff, which doesn't really seem that threatening, to be honest. They give you, like, 3 turns or so to kill them first, and then they would launch their, like, you know, potential, like, detrimental attack at you. So, definitely not anything to worry about too much with their, like, enemy skills that they have. Okay, wait, we did just get a random super out the gate. That is kind of random, because he didn't fully count down. So that was just like a normal super attack, whereas the countdown super is going to be the one that does like a lot of damage, I guess? Or that maybe it won't do a lot of damage, but it inflicts the status effect on you. I guess could be the thing. Okay, just peeking at the defense numbers here. Yes, we're good to go. And yet again, we are stuck in the predicament with Janemba, where is he going to get his orbs? He's not. Yeah, we can't get 4 type orbs or 2 rainbow orbs. Man, this unit. Oh, goodness gracious. Such a nuisance. Hopefully this guy will just be dead before it gets to that point. Before we get to, like, the 3rd slot anyway. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, we have type disadvantage, so obviously we're not hitting hard with Golden Frieza right now, but Final Form Cooler should be able to cook. He is sufficiently built up at this point. We have gone through... What turn are we on? Is this turn 4, I believe? Turn 5. Okay, so I think this Cooler has actually had 3 turns to build up. Yeah, this guy is cooking at this point. 9 million attack stats. Let's see it. I would hope that he can finish this guy off. Yeah. There we go. Alright, sweet. Not too difficult. So that ends this fight, and then now it's on to Gogeta. Okay. Physical type, huh? I guess that could be worse. We just rotated Janemba off. I am going to think ahead for Janemba's sake. So, we just rotated Janemba off. We're kind of fine for, like, 2 turns here. We don't need to, like, race to get his orbs ready. But on the next rotation, we are going to think about that heavily, just to make sure. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much the only thing we have to bank on with the Metal Cooler is that we don't get super attacked right out the gate. But as long as we're able to get a couple stacks built up, yeah, so like probably starting next turn, as long as we get hit like once or twice before getting supered, then we should live for sure. So I think we're pretty much a shoo-in for the no item run here. I don't think that there's any unit on this team that's like enough of a liability for us that we're gonna die. Especially with how quickly we're able to put in all these hits. It's funny, when I brought the Int Bobbity along here, I was thinking maybe there's a chance, you know, it's a long-form event, we have a couple stages to it, maybe we might be able to put him in standby, potentially see a Spirit Bomb, but it looks like we're going to just be finishing off these events, like, long before we're ever able to see the standby skill. But that is perfectly fine, because he is still a really solid support unit to have in that third slot. Especially because we need the rainbow typings for this, right? And we don't really have many other int options for this team. So we had, like, pretty much our only other options, literally our only other options in our entire box for this team would have been the int third form Frieza, who I don't know if I could depend on him defensively very much. He's also a sworn enemies support, so he wouldn't be buffing many of the cooler cards, just some of the golden Frieza, I guess. And then, so yeah, that would be kind of like, you know, not advantageous to have him on the team. And then the other unit was the int Broly, and because that unit does stack, he raises, you know, attack and defense. Then I was kind of thinking like it wouldn't be a good idea to bring him either, because we had all the cooler units that we need to keep on rotation, and we wouldn't have been able to keep him on rotation to give him the stacks that he so much deserves. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to select the tech orbs here. That way Janemba can at least get enough orbs to super attack and get the support part of his passive up. Okay, this is going to be a very, very good turn for us here. Alright, this is probably looking like second to last turn. I think we're going to be able to finish this off pretty easily here. Okay, so starting from this stage here, you know, stage 5, this is where I think the equips really start to matter, right? Start to make a huge difference. We end up getting some really, really good equips from this point on. Obviously, it's like the same equips that we were getting for the previous characters, I believe. Oh, look, and we could finally do the standby. But obviously we don't want to, because if we do the standby, I think he's going to lose the support part of his passive for the rest of the rotation, and he won't be able to attack this turn, which we definitely don't want, because he's not going to have enough time to fully build up the Spirit Bomb so that we can launch it by the time the event's over. So we're probably just going to skip out on... yeah, probably just going to skip out on going into the standby mode at all here. Oh, and we actually are getting really close to that Dokkan attack. It looks like the Dokkan attack is going to pop on this next turn. I think we still have one phase left, right? Because he has to still transform into blue. And then we'll be getting that final attack off. And it looks like that final attack is going to be a Dokkan attack, so fun stuff. Oh, but that's only if we're able to finish off this phase before then. So hopefully between the attacks we have on this phase, it will be enough to finish this guy off. Wow, Golden Frieza is going in. Oh my goodness. It's too bad he decided to do this on the tech phase where he does like absolutely no damage, right? Kind of unfortunate we didn't get the 18 key super there with Cooler too, because then he gets the attack raise, right? But it looks like we're still going to finish off this phase here just fine, so that's good. Nice, very nice. But yeah, the equips that we're going to be earning from this point on are going to start to be really, really good. Because obviously, you know, we just saw the Easy A's for the 5th anniversary LRs here, and they are amazing. They are like some of the best units in the game, literally. So the fact that we get these same busted equips for them is just an absolute insane thing. Like, I can barely fathom it. Okay, so we're going to use Final Form Cooler's active skill there, get some damage dealt immediately up front. That's good, because that also mitigates one of the attacks that's coming at us up front, which is very good. I think we're going to change up the rotation for the first time here, and we're going to get the Dokkan attack with our Final Form Cooler, because he is fully built up at this point, and he's going to absolutely hit on this rotation. So, let's see it happen. Alright, 1, 2, 3, no! I can't count to 3, guys. What can I say? I'm just I'm just serving up L's on myself. Alright, Cooler. Let's see it. Ooh, almost. I just thought for sure he would... Hey, you know what's funny? If I clicked that node that I missed, you would have actually finished him off with the Dokkan attack. That's so lame. Okay, well, it is what it is. We got the win. And all of the missions cleared for this stage, so very, very good stuff. That one was definitely easier than the last one. I think that the last stage was definitely harder with the turn restrictions. That seems to pose much more of a threat than the using like an all types team. So there we go. We were able to get all of the 5th anniversary missions completed. Sweet. So let's go switch over to the wiki and we'll peep at the equips here. So yeah, look at this. Look at these equips. Like, these are nuts. I cannot believe we're getting all of these crits and additionals for this guy. He supers like 5 times per turn. Additionals and crits are going to do so much for him. Like, these are just absolutely insane. I cannot wait. Obviously, the crit doesn't do as much for Gogeta because he already has type effective. He's already attacks effective against all type, and then if you're at full 24 key, he has guaranteed crits anyway. So this doesn't do as much for him. But for this guy, holy. To be honest with you, of the entire batch of all of them, I think literally this is the best equip right here. Or no. I mean, the combination between the two. Maybe the silver one, because the crits, because he already has so many additionals built in, doing the additional, the extra criticals is going to be a really big thing for him. But yeah, oh man, I am just so stoked to use the equipment on these guys. So, I guess, you know, before we can do that, we got to finish off the rest of these stages. So, on to stage 6.